There is no competition. We all the best, yeah. There is no competition.
What's it like for you to come back to Germany after so many years, and what are the main differences you've noticed since you've been here?
Well, I mean, every time we come back here, you know, more and more people know about the UFC. More and more people are into mixed martial arts, and I've never been to Berlin, so I was excited to come to Berlin. It's a city I've always wanted to check out, and we're just, you know, as we continue to go to all these different cities in Europe and spread the word and, you know, educate the masses about mixed martial arts. It's no different than what we did in the States. If you think about our first few fights, we sold like 3,500 tickets our first few fights, you know, and to come into Germany and do 7,000 and what did we do the last two times we were in Cologne and you know
13 in Cologne and 18 Oberhausen.
Yeah. So as we continue to move around, and you guys know, I mean, I'm preaching to the choir in here. What really sells this thing and what really gets people over is the live event. You know, it's great on TV and it's fun to watch. You get your house full of your friends and you all kick in and you watch it. But when you see this thing live, we never have a situation. And every time we go somewhere, you know, we have some guys coming tomorrow from other arenas to check this thing out that we've never been to. You know, you get some people from television. You get to always have some very interesting people that we're trying to influence. And nobody walks out of a live UFC event and says, "Yeah, I don't ever want to do this again." You know what I mean? So it's our big selling point, and it's what I truly believe has helped build this sport to what it is today, the live event.
Gary, does that also mean that moving forward we'll start to see more double headers with events taking place in North and South America combined with European events?
Yeah, as we start to build these infrastructures, you know, like we've done in Europe with Gary and his team, like we've done down in Brazil with Grace and her team, you know, we're going to continue to do this, you know, in all these places around the world. I mean, the supply and demand for this thing right now. Right now, we got a fight going down in Brazil. We could do one in the United States. We could do one here in Berlin, Germany. And I'll tell you what, every time we go to Australia, we sell out, and it's crazy. There could be one in Australia going on right now, and there could definitely be one in England, you know, because England kills it every time we go there, too. So, yes, I mean, I could see a day where we do that.
Could you see a 24-hour calendar of 3 events back-to-back in 3 different time zones?
Yeah, anything is possible now. You know, when we first started this thing, we were doing 5 events a year. If you told me we had to do 6, I'd have said, holy shit. I don't know if we can pull that one off, you know, and now look what we're doing. So anything is possible.
Dana, there's been sort of word that the UFC Dublin might be covered in Fox Sports. Is that a possibility?
Yeah. You know, we're talking, you know, when we went out and did this Fight Pass thing, you know, we offered those to Fox first, and Fox wishes they took them now. Yeah, probably.
Brilliant.
A lot of people are excited about that Dublin fight, man. I mean, it's just, the buzz around that Dublin fight is insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. Another question, then, sorry.
Yeah,
you mentioned to me after London and Scrum last time that you were going to talk about doing the title fight in Europe. On the update, or is that a possibility by the end of the year?
Yeah, no, it definitely is. You know, we were looking like we might have the Jones-Gustafsson fight out here, you know what I mean? But it looks like that's going to be in Vegas in September or August or September. But yeah, we'll see.
Where would it likely venue be?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know yet.
Any
a big one.
Who would you put in?
Anybody.
Any weight class?
Anybody. Yeah.
You're that confident? Would it be pay-per-view?
Yeah. If we did a title fight, probably. I mean, we've done some title fights that were on Big Fox, and you know, who knows?
There was a lot of talk of it being held in Stockholm. What was the main reason or reasons why it didn't take place in Stockholm, and were you looking at Vegas instead?
Because you know, at the end of the day, Vegas is still the fight capital of the world. It's still a big destination. Not that Sweden isn't a big destination, and believe me, we by no means look at Sweden and say, believe me, we get it and we like it a lot. We're very interested in doing something big in Sweden, but the Jones-Gustafsson fight makes sense in Vegas. It's not that it doesn't make sense in Sweden either. You know, believe me, I'd love to do it there and see it. It's just when you start looking at pay-per-view and the time and how much press we might lose or gain by being in Sweden because of how big it would. I don't know, but these are the things we battle with in the office and try to figure out. You want to do the right thing, but I can go both sides of that one.
Why do you think John's taking so long to sign that contract?
You got to ask John Jones that. I don't know. Yeah,
Sweden is ruled out.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Sweden is ruled out for sure.
No, you do.
What was it like to finally bury the hatchet with Ken Shamrock?
It was fine. I actually appreciate the fact that he reached out and said that he wanted to squash it. So, I think a lot of my beefs with fighters are played up. If you think about it, right now we have 505 guys under contract. Right? We've had thousands of guys under contract over the last 13 years. And I've had huge blowouts with like 4 of them, Pretty good ratio.
One of the guys you had a blowout with was Paul Daly. And I know you've spoken about this in the past, but
and it wasn't that I had a blowout with Paul Daly. What Paul Daly did was just, it's unforgivable. In the history of the UFC, nobody has ever walked up and sucker punched a guy after the fight. It's never happened. It's happened one time, and it was with Paul Daly. And Paul Daly had his management write me a letter a few days ago.
Really?
Yeah. And basically saying, he's grown up a lot since that incident. He's been on a win streak. It's one of his biggest regrets in his life and things like that. And, I showed it to Lorenzo, and Lorenzo's like, it's up to you, brother. What do you want to do? And it's such a hard one for me. It's a hard one for me.
Where are you right now? Where are you right now? Do you think there's a chance, more than a 50% chance that you might sign him?
I don't know. I haven't really had a chance to think about it,
If you had to decide right now, what would you say?
No. No. Yeah, you made me decide right now. I say no. I haven't really thought about it. It's just one of those things that's hard to forgive.
When do you think you might get another tough here in Europe, whichever country it is?
Gary and I were talking about that yesterday too. We remember when I always told you guys that we wanted, I wanted to, it was my idea to do these, do them in all these different countries and then do like the World Cup. It's like the World Cup. So he and I were trying to figure that thing out yesterday, talking about how that might work. And instead of going with everybody, you start with 3 countries. You start with 3 countries, Germany possibly being one of them, and they fight, and then the winners fight each other. So we're getting there.
What were the other 2 countries that in discussions apart from Germany?
England obviously was one of them, and then
Sweden.
yeah, Sweden would make a lot of sense too, and maybe there's 4, but yeah, it's getting a lot closer to reality now. With all the work that Gary and his team are doing out here, and B, with all the talent and the demand now in Europe.
Hit it! There is no competition. We are the best, yeah. There is no competition.